We did see the image, and we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And I'm somewhat informed on the matter, having served on the Armed Services Committee for 7 years, having served on the committee that oversees DARPA and advanced technologies for several years.
I have seen evidence of craft that I am not familiar with any of our allies or adversaries or even our country possessing. I've seen that craft taken by air crews who have gotten quite close to it, and we've got a lot more questions about why this information isn't more broadly available to the American people.
What do you hope comes from this now? What are the next steps after this hearing today?
Well, somehow we've got to get subpoena power, and we've got the ability to get access to the records, the radar systems, the photographs that will inform the decisions we have to make on funding and authorities.
The tweet you put out, I think it was after the hearing, going into more explanation about what happened at the Air Force Base. Can you talk a little bit about that?
At Eglin Air Force Base, I saw things that did not appear from human origin, and I hope that we're able to get that information before the entire Congress. That's probably all I can say about it.
Okay. Are you going to have like a classified briefing in the SCIF next with Rush and others?
So we may need other authorities that, would require the establishment of a select committee, and we're going to be chatting with the Speaker about those things in the coming days.
Have you heard anything from the administration?
We have not.
As you said about having to fight to get access to see some of the images. So to the best of you can answer this question, have any of you seen something to lead you to believe stronger in the existence of something extraterrestrial?
What I can tell you is that when Congresswoman Luna and Congressman Burchett and I were at Eglin Air Force Base, there were hours of frustrations where they didn't want to let us see a photograph taken by a pilot during a test flight. When I saw the photograph, I can tell you it is of nothing that I'm aware of existing in our arsenal of assets. And I'm on the Armed Services Committee for 7 years. I'm not unfamiliar with the things that we have at our disposal. It was not something that I could classify as something that we would possess or a capability that any of our
The White House doesn't have answers, but we have to get them. I can report exclusively to Newsmax tonight that I've joined Representative Tim Burchett, Representative Anna Paulina Luna, and Democrat Representative Jared Moskowitz in calling on Speaker Kevin McCarthy to establish a freestanding select committee of Congress to get to the bottom of this UAP issue.
If there's any designation of a national security concern regarding disclosure, we believe that this information can no longer be siloed with the entities that have frustrated disclosure. That there should be broader briefings to members of Congress, that the Oversight Committee, which many of my colleagues here serve on, should be receiving those briefings, that the Armed Services Committee should be receiving those briefings, and it should not just be the fiefdom of the Intelligence Committee and the intelligence community. And if we achieve that objective, I think we can start to restore some of the trust the public has. But as we work through the finer points of that legislation, we felt it was important today to come forward and express where the log jams exist, where the opportunities lay before us, and we will pursue those with great vigor. I also wanted to specifically thank House Armed Services Chairman Mike Rogers. He allowed the Burchett Amendment to go on the bill without objection, and I think he is to be commended for that. And also when my colleagues, Ms. Luna and Mr. Burchett and I, were at an Air Force base and were told by Air Force officials that we weren't allowed to see information that whistleblowers had expressed to us existed, it was in fact Chairman Rogers himself who personally engaged with the Office of the Secretary of Defense and gave us the opportunity.